Hey, my name's Jonathan Hadel, and I make music as Pink Buddha, and welcome to Force Fridays. If you missed the other ones in the series, click on this link up here to take you to the playlist. And if you don't want to miss out on the next one, consider hitting the subscribe button. Today's video is going to be a little shorter because I've had a super busy week. I have an album of solo piano music coming out on Friday, and if you want to listen to some of those here on YouTube, click on this link up here, or I've included it in the description below. For today's video, we're going to go over how to change the colors on the pads, both for the drum racks and for the individual clips, both of which are a little bit difficult to get at in the Force and not very intuitive, so I'll show you how to do that. And I'll also share some of my thoughts that go into how I color some of these pads. For starters, I pulled up one of Akai's drum kits, and I think they do a really great job about coloring these different pads based upon what type they are. Their hi-hats are always this kind of yellow-orange. Snares and whatnot are the yellow. Bass drum is red. These other ones are toms. Some other So when I create my own drum racks, I like to use a similar coloring scheme. The red for the bass drums, the yellow for snare or clap or something along those lines, hi-hat, etc. Okay, let's look at how you can change your own. And to demonstrate, I went ahead and found some drum kits on the internet. These are some Vermona drum samples, and I loaded them here into the Force. Problem with these is that they're all the same color, so it's really difficult to remember where the appropriate drums will be, and besides that, they're kind of in weird spots. The hi-hats are really spread out, the claps are way over here, so what I'm going to do is move these around a little bit and then change the color on them. To change the colors on these pads, you need to be on Matrix View, and then double click on the track. Here's where it says pads follow track color. So if that box is checked, any samples that I bring in are going to be all the same color. So I have to turn that off. And then here it says edit pad colors. And I click on here. You can either change all the pads or just a single pad. I'm going to change it to single pad. And then I'm going to find my particular one here and select red because I like those bass drums to be red. This is where the other one was, and I think that's a clap. So I got to go up here to do the yellow. And I'm trying to remember where the other ones were. Hi-hat, we'll do that one, this kind of orange color. Oh, I don't know if that's really a hi-hat sound, but I think the other one was here, not there. Here we go. Let's do toms, like these blue colors. God, these are all over the place. Okay, let's go back to yellow. Nope, that wasn't where it was. There we go. Go back to blue. Another hi-hat sound, go with this yellow. Actually, this other yellow for hi-hats. And then, let's make this one pink. Now, I don't know what you think about this, but these pad arrangements that came up as the default are all over the place. If I go back to the Akai MPC arrangements, I like this a lot better where the bass drums are here. The clap or snare sounds are all grouped together. Same thing with the hi-hats. So I want to kind of model it after this one. Now that I already colored them, it's going to be easy to see what they are. I'm going to move them around a little bit. You can do so by taking the copy button. And I'm going to click on this copy and just kind of get them out of this. Oh, shoot. I did that wrong. I got to get it out of this screen. Let's see if I can do undo. There we go. Let's go back to the matrix and get out of here. Okay, So like I was saying, if you want to copy and move these around, you can click the copy button, click the pad that you want to copy and where you want to move it to. Then you can delete the original one. So I'm just going to move these out of this basic grid to give me some space to work around. So now I have the bass drums over here, the snare, clap type sounds in this area. I'm going to move the hi-hats kind of into a group together. I don't know what that one was doing. Should change that color. It's not really a hi-hat sound. I think it was this one right here. Let's turn it to green. Oops. Get this one out of here. Move these other ones back in. Okay, let's get these blue ones back in here. Oops. You gotta be careful not to copy over ones you wanted to do before. Okay, now we're down to a much more concise picture. Hi-hat sounds, clap ones, bass drum type hits. That looks much better to me. All right, so now we'll look at how to change the color on the individual clips. I'm going to record a drum part here to give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's record arm this track. All right, so that's a quick drum beat. Let's go to the clip edit, and I'll make sure that the length is going to be only 4 bars. All right, so I'm going to take this drum loop and show you why you might want to change up some of the clip colors to help you navigate better. I'm going to copy this clip twice so I can change it up a little bit. I'm going to go back to clip edit, and for the first one I'm going to leave it the full length, but for the next clip I'm going to shrink that down to just the first 2 measures. And the second clip I'm going to change to the last 2 measures. So I'm going to change the loop time here. So I also might copy this again and change this loop length to something even smaller. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to make it this one even smaller. I could take that even further if I wanted to. Okay, so here's my clip. All 4 bars there. Just the first 2 bars, the last 2 bars. Not the best musical example, but I think you get the right idea. If I was going to do these shorter measures like this, that takes too long to loop back to the other one, so I need to hit Shift, and then this row right here determines how soon the clip will play after you press it. I have it set to 1 bar right now, so I probably do it at a quarter note level, so then I could play these variations more musically. Now, if you're going to set up different clips that have different drum patterns within the same track, maybe not as extreme as I just did right here, but you might want to change the color on these clips so that you can remember what they are. You do so by going back to the matrix view where you can see all the clips above, and you need to hold down on the individual clip. When you get there, you go to Settings, and the color, you can either have it be set to as the individual track, or you can come in here and you can change that individual color itself. So as I scroll through these different ones here, you can see how the clips are changing. Maybe I might make the first one kind of a different color, a blue. To kind of the darker color. The screen. So now I have this purple one as represents my whole entire loop. Okay, I'll make these next ones different variations of blue, maybe something like that. And I could then take these other ones that are going to be the faster versions. Maybe we'll make those a green variation. Okay. So now all these clips are a more distinct color to them. You don't need to make them this extreme. I'm just trying to give you an example of how you might want to use them. I definitely think that changing the clip color based upon different patterns can be a great way of keeping yourself organized here. All right, that's it for today's Force Fridays. Like I said, a little bit of a shorter one today because of my piano album coming out, which you can check out in the links below. If you found today's video helpful, and hopefully the subscribe button if you want to catch the other ones in the series.